What's going on, boys and girls? Always a joy for you guys to join me today. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Lots to talk about today. Giovanni Carnavelli is talking about his player Locatelli, and Locatelli has been going through all sorts of craziness this summer. He's told his agent more than one occasions that the only team he wants to join is Juventus. Now, Juventus has had two failed proposals, not bids, two failed proposals. They've failed because they don't have the money to buy the player. This is common knowledge to all Arsenal fans. But what we don't know now is that they haven't come back with a third offering. And without that, Giovanni, the CEO, has come on record and said that there has not been a deal currently struck with Juventus, and the player will only leave when the correct deal has been put through. Now, the offering from Arsenal was what they were looking for. They think that they're doing the right thing. I kind of talked about it last week as a negative because I said in regards to Odegaard and Locatelli that if you're after these guys that don't want to be at Arsenal, why are you chasing them? For me, that doesn't sit well with me, and I voiced my opinions to you guys previously before. An Arsenal player is an Arsenal player, born to be an Arsenal player, hungry to play for the club, kiss the badge. And I just don't see that in these two players. I don't see the passion from Odegaard. I don't see it from Locatelli, and quite frankly, I'd go in a different direction. Right now, as we speak, Man United have been in contact with Wolves about Ruben Neves, so they are at the moment in pole position to buy the player. The things have cooled off with Arsenal, although the player has stressed that he would love to come to Arsenal. It's one of those things, isn't it? You know, if you go to Man United, you're going to be on the bench, because you've got Bruno Fernandes and all those other players in Pogba. Pogba can't even get a game these days. But if you come to Arsenal, they're looking for a player that's going to be sitting in front of Lokonga and play alongside Thomas Partey. So if you're Ruben Neves, you know that you're going to get minutes. You know that as far as the Premiership goes, you're going to be getting minutes and then you're going to play. So, and players want to play. And I think in that respect, we can move on to Martin Odegaard. Now, Martin Odegaard, things have picked up in the last couple of days. Arsenal have been in contact with Real Madrid yesterday about availability, and today I hear that they're working on personal terms. And maybe that's just to entice the player, because you're allowed to work on personal terms if the team is seemingly looking to out the player. They don't mind if that's been sorted out. He's got a great relationship with our front office, and they're now looking to offer him something in the region of 115,000 a week, which is about 33,000 more than he's currently getting now at Real Madrid. So if they get some kind of commitment from Martin Odegaard, then it pretty much looks solid for him to be joining Arsenal in some capacity. Now remember, thinking back, guys, Martin Odegaard was our number one target before the summer started. So in that regard, I think if they land their man, then they would feel like the summer has come to them. They would feel like they've stayed off, they've been patient, they've sat back, and they've got their man if this happens. The person that Arteta really wants, and Edu, is James Maddison. But since then, we've heard all kind of foolishness coming out of Leicester. We've heard that there was a player that they have banned, and no name has been mentioned. I think it was Maddison. And I think that they have backpedaled on that. They've put the bid up to 65 million they said we want for our player. And now this morning, there's more information coming out saying that they want 70 million for the player. So I think that they're just trying to make it as uncomfortable as possible for Arsenal Football Club, because at the moment, we're the only team that's come in for him, and he's clearly voiced that he would like to come to Arsenal as well. So I think really that's on Leicester City to say, look, we want to make it as ugly and uncomfortable for Arsenal as possible, so that they would just turn around and walk away from this situation, because they're trying to repair and make amends for the issues that have been going on with the player and the manager. And while that's happening in the back, Arsenal are prowling with their offers and all these other things, and the media. So the pressure really is on Leicester City to find a solution and to make the player happy. If they can do that, then I can't really see him going. So think back to when Aubameyang was at Dortmund. Do you remember when they were talking about him throwing toys out of his prams and doing all this foolishness? And a lot of people close to him, including Jurgen Klopp, were saying, look, he ain't like that. That's just talk coming out of the football club to kind of put you off the player. So I think in regards to James Maddison, before this month, has anybody even heard James Maddison being a problem child? No. So I don't think you have to be concerned about James Maddison coming to Arsenal and starting to throw his toys at the pram. I don't think that that's an issue. I think if a player is wanted, all a player wants to be is wanted by a club. And if a club's coming in for him and wants to pay a big fee for you, then that is a lot of commitment. And to a player, that means everything. So I think it's fair to say that if anything's going to happen there, then it will happen with the consent of the player. But we just need the consent of the club, and that's what's really holding everything back. Hope you guys enjoyed the Watford game. Sorry I didn't stream it, just it kind of jumped up on us, to be honest with you. We didn't have a lot of information prior to the game, and I was out at the time, so I couldn't really come back and then get the stream on and sorted for everybody. But it was really nice to see that we're following up again a Premiership team, because they've just got back in the league, and seeing our players playing really well. Look, you guys bitching and moaning about El Nene, but before he made that mistake, he was playing decent. He won 3 balls, passes intercepted in the midfield, and was causing all kinds of problems. Lokonga looks the real deal. I think he'll definitely play over 25 games, that's for sure. Not sure what happened with Reece Nelson. Really unhappy with the way he just went missing in the first half, and I expected a little bit more of him. But again, the combo of Pepe and Smith Rowe looked really good. Eddie Nketiah looks solid on that left-hand side, way more productive than I've ever seen Aubameyang. He's picking up the ball in space from Lokonga, and he's going out wide. He's actually beating a defender. Every time he gets the ball, he's looking to cut inside and beat a defender, take a defender on, and you're just not getting that with Aubameyang. What you're getting with Aubameyang is he'll cross it into middle and hope, yeah, or he'll get the ball and he'll play it backwards, because he doesn't have the composure and the skill level to go forward and take a defender on and create a shooting opportunity. We've seen Tierney do it, we've seen Saka do it on that side, we've seen Martinelli do it, and now Nketiah is the latest guy who's come in and made himself look lively on the left-hand side. So why is it that we're having all this production from our kids, yet our veteran and highest paid player and captain is just on an island? And guys, look, some of you guys are saying he needs a goal, he needs a goal. What has he done? What has Aubameyang done? You name me one thing that Aubameyang has done in the last 4 preseason games. 4. So we know he had the overhead kick, and listen, that vertical cross from Pepe to Aubameyang, we saw a little bit of that last season, and Pepe loves looking out for his man on that overcrossing ball. And it was a nice ball. This was the Chambers goal, by the way, against Watford. It was a nice ball that came floated over, and Aubameyang, Wayne Rooney style, got an overhead kick on it and it hit the crossbar. Now that was something which was nice to see, but that's one occasion. Yeah, the other game he had 3 chances, could have got a hat-trick, and then completely fluffed these lines. We've not really seen anything from the captain, and it's a worrying sign. You're going into a season with your captain in this kind of form. That's not good. And I said it last week, and it isn't improving. The situation is not getting better with Aubameyang. So, look, there's a lot of concerns, but I think overall the team are playing a lot better in the midfield. We're creating chances. The ball movement is much faster. The one thing that I talked about with Thomas Partey is going to be a hella player this year. So you can mark him down with Smith Rowe and Pepe. Them 3 right there, the triangular balls and overlaps that those guys are creating is going to give a lot of teams problems. But I think Lokonga, what impresses me the most with him, which is something we saw from Guendouzi for a while, this is where the likes of Ceballos and Xhaka just couldn't compete. It was the manner in which they were able to spread the ball at speed. Receiving the ball and playing the ball forward, that helps the attackers when they're making their runs. What you had last season was just the ball going sideways and backways a lot. So forward players last season were making those runs and were not getting a service. So those runs account to nothing. And when that happens too much times, a forward player then stops working hard. He stops making those runs beyond the defensive line because he knows in his head that the ball isn't going to come. What we're seeing now is the opposite to that. We're seeing the midfield party and Lokonga picking up the ball in space, and the first thing they're doing is looking up and looking to play a quick pass into the final third, and the forwards know that. That's why Nketiah was making those runs. And we talk about Pepe running into the box. He's only allowed to do that because of the support Smith Rowe and the support Chambers is giving him on that right-hand side. If that support's not there, and it wasn't from Bellerin, many times last season, if that support's not there, then Pepe's not making that runs. He isn't a viable option in the middle of the park. So guys, look, really good game. I'm going to leave it right there, and let's kind of focus now on the weekend. We've got the Mine tournament coming up with Chelsea on Sunday. I'm going to be streaming that one live to you guys, and afterwards I'm going to go out and meet the rest of the guys on the 101 panel to have a munch up on Bird Holloway Road after the game. So listen, thank you guys for tuning into the channel. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.